I wanted to just take a little bit of a poll here about some of your dreams and just do a little psychoanalysis on Networks Church here. How many of you have ever had the famous dream where you're running away from the monster dream, and he's coming after you, and you're running, but if you look back and realize you haven't moved any? Has anybody had that dream? Could I just see by a show of hands? Okay, we've got a few people that have got that. Okay, how many of you have ever had the famous dream when you're falling from a really high height, and you wake up right before you hit the bottom? You kind of wake up with a jolt. Has anybody had that? Okay, we got a lot of people. Okay, very good. And how many of you have had the dream where you are the famous? You're at work, you're at school, you're out in public, and you look down and you realize you forgot to put your clothes on that morning. How many of you have had that dream? Okay, Networks Church psychoanalysis, all crazy. Okay, yeah, just wanted to make sure to get that straight and let you know you're not alone as far as that goes. Well, that's one type of a dream, but we're actually not going to talk about that type of a dream this morning. We're going to talk about another dream. And if you look in your bulletin, I believe there's a definition there of the kind of dream that we're going to talk about. And here's how it's defined. A dream is a cherished aspiration, an ambition, or an ideal. And what I want to do this morning for this, the opening of this series called One Dream, and really I'm going to do it for the whole month of October, is I probably don't really come across as a preacher, what you might think is a preacher normally, but I really don't want to come across that way in this series. And if I could in some way, what I want to do is I want to take out my heart and I want to open it up and I want to let you see inside as best I can. And I'm going to do my very, very best to try to do that with this series, because I think there's just some amazing stuff that God wants us to look into. Three things that I have noticed about this kind of dream, and in your notes, just write these in. Number one, without dreams, we are nothing. Without dreams, we are absolutely nothing. And, even to the point of, think about, we really rest on the backs of people's dreams. Okay? Go through history. Christopher Columbus had a dream. We have a country. Thomas Edison had a dream. We have light inside of our buildings. Alexander Graham Bell had a dream. We can communicate in a revolutionary way. Orville and Wilbur Wright had a dream of taking to the heavens and soaring. And that was a dream that is, we don't even think too much about now. But we rest on the backs of dreams. And so, without dreams, we're really nothing. The second thing I've noticed about dreams is this, is dreams that are unfulfilled are incredibly painful. Unfulfilled dreams are painful. In other words, if we don't achieve that desired aspiration, it's like a sucker punch. It hurts. It's like crashing to the ground. Okay? And I just want to tell you a funny story about a different kind of dream to kind of illustrate the point. Whenever I was in kindergarten, in first grade, the favorite show among boys at that time that was brand new on the airwaves was the show you may have heard of called The Dukes of Hazzard. Does anybody remember that show? And I remember when I first discovered The Dukes of Hazzard, and some kids were talking about it at school, and I actually went and watched it. And I mean, for a young boy, I mean, it was boyhood nirvana. I mean, it was incredible. You have this orange muscle car jumping over buildings, sliding across the hood of the car. I mean, it was great. It was awesome. And I developed this dream, is I wanted so badly to have a little Hot Wheels General Lee. And I just thought, oh, that would be so cool. And one of the kids brought one to school one day, the little Hot Wheels General Lee. I was like, oh, if only I had a General Lee. That would be awesome, okay? And but it didn't happen for a long time, and I dreamt of getting that little car. And I remember one night, and I can't believe I remember this very day, is I actually had a dream at night that I got a General Lee. And I remember in the dream I was just happy, I was playing with it, I was jumping it, And when I woke up, for about 3 seconds, I had this smile on my face like, I got it. And then reality hit. I don't got it. And it was like going from an incredible high to painful. Okay? That was a dream, and that's a really silly illustration, I know. But with our dreams that are unfulfilled, that's exactly the way it is. And I know that all of you can relate to that. Look at this, Proverbs 13:12. It says, hope deferred. And I'm going to kind of interpret that a little different than what's right there. Is dreams unfulfilled make the heart sick. But desire fulfilled is a tree of life. And I know it's kind of a loose interpretation, but I'm going to put the word dream in there for hope. Okay? So dreams are incredibly painful. And here's the thing too, is when you have a dream about doing something great, an aspiration, it begs to be walked out. You cannot just sit on the couch and let it be there. It's kind of like, the famous question, why do you climb a mountain? Because it's there. Why do you fulfill a dream? Because it's there. Okay? Third thing and last thing that I've noticed about dreams is this right here. And grab your notes and take your pen, and I want you to get this very specifically, okay? Okay? Fulfilling a dream, how can I get this, is flippin' hard. Okay, flippin' is spelled F-L-I-P-P-I-N, okay? I want to be very specific about that. Borrow from Napoleon Dynamite here a little bit. Fulfilling a dream is flippin' hard. Now let me describe it this way. When I was looking at the definition of dreams, the one was a cherished aspiration, ambition, or an ideal. But then another definition right below it was almost the exact opposite. It said, an unrealistic or self-deluding fantasy. I thought, that is really interesting. Now, what is so great, and one of them is not even real. It's a fantasy. Okay? I think what that means is a dream is hard to fulfill. Let me give you some examples. Somebody asked Thomas Edison not long before he got the incandescent bulb figured out. They asked him, how do you create light? How do you make the light bulb? And he said, I don't know, but I know over 1,000 ways not to make one. He had a lot of failure. Okay? I mean, we flip on our lights like no big deal, but it was hard to get that to happen. Okay? Dreams are hard. I saw a show one time about the Wright brothers, and there was they were reading a little piece from the journal of Orville Wright, and it was a year before they flew the first airplane, and they were doing all this testing, all this work to try to fly. And in the journal, he wrote something like this. They were so discouraged because everything was going wrong, everything was failing. And he wrote down something like this, and I'm not going to say it verbatim, I'm just going to paraphrase it because I don't remember it exactly. But it went something like this. It has been a bad season of testing. Everything that we have tried has not worked. It will be 100 years before man is able to fly. 1 year later, they flew. It is very hard to fulfill a dream. And you know what? We don't even think anything of it now. Okay? So recap. We're nothing without our dreams. We've got to have them. Okay? Unfulfilled dreams are incredibly painful. And fulfilling dreams are flipping hard. Okay? So do you see there's just these incredible opposites. On one hand, they beg to be done. On the other hand, they're the most hardest things to accomplish is our dreams. Okay?